Hi guys, welcome back to Fiber Art by Chels. Now that it is finally spring, for those of you who don't know, it has been 80 degrees one day and literally snowing the next. So it's time to propagate some of your plants and make plant hangers for your pots. This video will be split up into two parts. The first part will be propagation and how I propagate my plant. And the second part will be how to make a DIY plant hanger for your propagation clippings or for the plant itself. For those who aren't familiar with propagation, a simple quick summary is you're taking clippings or leaves from a current plant that you have, and you either replant them into soil or you can put them in water to let the roots grow and then plant into soil, and you can make another whole plant. Propagating plants is a great way to expand your collection and not spend a lot of money at the same time. I also like to hang my propagation clippings in jars. I think it's really cool to see the roots growing week by week. And then the plants that have grown roots already, I transfer to a pot in soil. So I will be taking you with me on the process of propagating and then making a plant hanger for our pot. For the purpose of this video, I will be propagating a Pothos, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, so I have no idea. I've just seen it written on paper. I suppose I could Google that before this video, but we're already here. We're recording. Under further review, I believe it is called Pothos, not Pothos, like I was saying. I don't know. I'll probably say it wrong throughout the entire video. You know. So this is the first step that I like to do. I like to, you can see the roots growing. I think that just looks cool. So these roots are nice and grown now. They are ready to get potted in a plant. Let's get some clippings. Potho plants can be propagated with stem cuttings or simply by dividing the plant. Select a healthy stem and cut just below the node. Nodes are small bumps on the stem where leaves or branches grow from. And make sure to use sharp, clean scissors to avoid damaging the plant. Some other common, easy propagation plants are spider plants, snake plants, succulents, jade plant, English ivy, and a rubber plant, just to name a few. Here I've been dividing out the short stem clippings from the long ones so I can place the short ones in my small holder and the longer stems in the macrame hanger jar. The first step after clipping your plant, I like to put them straight into a little propagation hanger. You could also do the jar. I'll just put a couple clippings depending on how many I get and wait till the roots grow before I plant it into the soil. Now that we have our new clippings placed in water, we can let it sit into the jars for a couple of weeks to even a few months before transferring it into soil. With the plants that have grown a few inches with the roots, I will repot them into some soil, into a pot. I did set aside a few to plant straight into the soil. A lot of the things that I've read up on suggest to do so, and we're going to give it a try. I guess we'll see how it goes. I did get planting soil for indoors this time, which I haven't used. I normally just get the water control soil, potting soil. So if you overwater it or underwater it, it corrects itself. And then here are my clippings with one leaf on it. Interested to see if these grow I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it all just grew any way I planted this, because these babies, they are pretty resilient. They grow, they can be ignored for a very long time. They'll just keep growing. You'll get a few leaves that will die off. You get so many clippings, it just grows so fast. That's what we're doing for that one. And then now, I have some clippings that I propagated a few months ago. So I have a good length of roots that have grown on it, and I'm just gonna relocate it into a pot with soil. Okay, here. It's been growing nicely. I think this has actually been like a few months. So the roots are nice and long, ready to relocate into a pot. As you can see, the roots are nice and grown. Just gonna take your root, your plant, and I'm just gonna kind of bury it in there. There, look at that one. Kind of crazy. Just poke little holes, place the roots down. It's pretty easy. I did this with my daughter in the summer, and I mean, when I remember, I water her plant, but that thing has been in her room surviving. So if my 4-year-old can propagate a pothos, you can. And it's funny because everyone's like, oh, I see your videos. You have a green thumb. No, not really. I throw them away when they're dead and I try again. So then I try something different next time. That's all I'm doing. I mean, essentially this will just it'll grow down like that thing. I mean, there we go. I'll rinse this off and it'll look all pretty. And now I'm rotating the clippings into the jar so I can hang them from the macrame plant hanger. What's new? Okay, now back on track, just filling up the jars with the clippings. And abracadabra done. Here's the cute one that my daughter made. Yeah. Now onto DIY macrame plant hanger. What color are we feeling today? I think I'm going to go with this blue that is probably my #1 color selling in hangers. Okay, you ready for some magic? Just kidding. So you might be wondering why I am outside. After a compelling argument, my daughter convinced me to load up all my stuff to go outside so she could scooter. I mean, let's be real, she was over it right after I unpacked everything. So back to the macrame room. You're going to want to cut 8 cords into 155 inches or 13 feet about. I'd round up. Take all 8 cords and fold it in half to find the middle. You are going to fold it over your hook in the center. You are going to start by making a square knot right in the middle. If you're unsure on how to make a square knot, you can click the attached video in the upper corner to learn the 5 basic macrame knots. For this piece, I made 12 square knots, counting the left side of the knots only. This will be your loop that your hanger will hang from. fold it over, measure it out, see if you would like it longer or shorter. This looks about right to me, so I will secure it off. You are now going to take a 16-inch cord to secure off the loop. Hanging the cord vertically, you're going to leave a little tail up above. Grab the bottom piece and loop it around your pinky, and you will fold behind and under the piece hanging from above. You want to make sure that you don't tuck that in. That has to stay up. You will continuously wrap the cord around the knotted loop until the desired length of the wrap is achieved. To finish it off, you then take your pinky out of that loop that you made and pull the cord through it, through the hole. And the dogtail that's hanging up above, you're going to pull it, which will tighten the loop. You then will also want to grab the bottom part of the string to tighten the knot. It kind of pulls the knot up into the wrap and hides it a little bit more too. Voila, now we cut the ends. Next, you're going to divide up the cords into 4 sections. Each section should have 4 cords in them. We are going to continue to just keep this simple and bust out some square knots. There will be leftover cord if you would like to add a few more knots to your hanger. I wanted to keep mine simple and stuck to 4 square knots up at the top. And you always count on just one side of the knot. If you are desiring the twisted look on your hanger, instead of a square knot, you're going to just do a half square knot continuously, which will turn the cord. Staying in the same section, you're going to make another square knot. Mine was about 7 inches down. Again, there is enough cord to make a few more knots if you want to make a pattern within there. You are going to do this on all 4 sections in the same general distance down. Now we'll be joining the sections. I grabbed the front 2. As you can kind of see, the back 2 is already put together. You'll take 2 cords from each section and make a square knot. Mine was about 3 inches down from the previous knot above. You'll take the leftover 2 and 2 from the previous knot and make another square knot slightly below so it's just off center. And you'll do the same thing to the other side. And we'll take the middle 4 cords and tie one last square knot, creating a little peekaboo hole. Now we primarily have 2 big sections, and we will need to connect the 2 so the plant doesn't fall through on one side when you place it in the hanger. This will be the section that will hug around the planted pot. I went another 3 inches down and made a square knot on both sides. This will show you the parameter of how big of pot will be able to go inside of your hanger. If it's too small, all you have to do is lower the knots that you just made a couple inches, and it will allow for a bigger pot to be placed in it. We are dividing the sections out into 4 sections again instead of 2 to place underneath the pot to really give it a stable bottom. These other 2 sections, I like to do at least 4 square knots, if not more, and secure it all together again with a 13-inch cord. Again, you're just going to wrap around until you reach the desired length. Typically, I like them to match the top. Then we are going to just take the cord and put it through the loop again and tighten it up. Last, we're going to trim off the tail. I went 4 inches down. You can either leave it in cord form or you can brush it out to make it fluffy. I want to give a shout out. Thanks for sticking around. I will be giving away this plant hanger next Thursday, May 10th. All you have to do is leave me a comment below. Feel free to ask any questions or make any suggestions of crafts you'd like to see in the future, or simply commenting with the flower emoji. New videos will be uploaded on Thursdays. Propagating. Hi, friends. I don't know why I said it like that. I am Chelsea. I don't know why I do this every time. And today, I don't know why I do that. I am here to propagate your plants. It's cheap. I don't know. I just play around with it until they don't die anymore, and then I'm like, hey, I'll write that down. Noted. I didn't kill the plant. I'll do that again. See if it works again. Trial and error. This is my process that I propagate now.